Hi guys, I'm Andrea with Eldon Acre. Today I've got a few projects on the go. Right now I'm just going through some seeds that I've collected for next year. I don't have all of the ones that I want or need yet, so I'm just kind of getting a start on organizing. I've picked up this container. I got it from our local home hardware. It's a good little size, and it's got the clip to hold the lid on, so it does get airtight so that you don't have to worry about moisture or anything. I typically keep our seeds in our back sunroom, so it's fully enclosed. In the winter, we don't typically heat it, but it's still fine for storing seeds. I usually keep my tubers, onions, all that kind of stuff back there too. So anyways, if you're looking for one like that, like I said, I got it at the home hardware. It's the Sterilite brand latching box, and it's 5.7 liters. So it's just a nice size. Like it fits all different kinds of seed packets in it just nicely. And then eventually, when I get all of my seeds in here, I will go through and organize it. I'll put some sort of probably just like cardboard divider in there. So anyways, we're gonna work on that, and then I'm hoping to get my potatoes pulled. So we planted them quite some time ago. The other day I went digging around, and I found a really nice big potato. So I'm pretty excited. This was my first year growing potatoes, which sounds weird because we've had a garden for quite a few years, 5 years, ever since we got our first house. So yeah, first year doing potatoes, but I'm pretty excited to get those pulled out of the ground, and I'll take you guys along for that as well. And then I've just got a few other things to pull out of the garden. I think tonight with supper, we're having leftovers. I made my favorite soup. It's my recipe, but it'll be on our Instagram page as well. And then I'm gonna make my cheesy beer bread. I can link the recipe for that too when I figure out how to do that. But I'm gonna add, I think I've got some jalapenos out in the garden, so I'm gonna chop some of those up and add that into. My fiance Vernon, he loves something with a little spice, so I think he'll probably like that. So anyways, let's just kind of dig in here. So a couple of these seeds I picked up at our local, actually I got these ones from TSC, which is now PV Mart. I've never grown a couple of these. So this one here is a Shasta Daisy. I'm really excited about this one. It is a perennial, so I have to find somewhere. I'll start these inside, and then I'll plant them outside. So I have to find somewhere that I'm going to like that one to stay somewhat permanently. And then the next one I have here is Echinacea. We have some of that growing here from the last owners, but it's just like in a spot where it's pretty overgrown. I need to put some attention to that flower bed at some point, maybe next week. But yeah, I'm excited to grow this one. I'll start this one inside too, and it is also a perennial. And then another perennial I picked up, Hindicott Blue Lavender. You will very quickly find out that I am a huge lover of lavender. I have never been able to start it from seed. I have a terrible time with germination. So last year I did an entire tray of lavender, and I had one seed germinate, and it just, I tried to limp it along, and it didn't go over very well. It ended up dying. So anyways, I'm gonna try to do this. I have a couple new methods, so I'll bring you along eventually to do that one day. And then I picked up some dill, some Long Island Mammoth dill. I grew some dill this year, and it was okay. We had a really funny growing year. We had a really dry spring. So I typically go by the rule of planting May 2-4 long weekend. So we're a zone 5B, AB. They consider us a 5B, but sometimes I plant a little on the safer side. Anyways, this year I planted May 2-4 most of my things. Anyways, and then we got a late frost, and I lost quite a few of my tomato plants. and some herbs that I planted out. Dill was one of them. I didn't lose my dill. It just really stunted it. So I didn't get the dill that I wanted this year. And then I got 2 other sweet pea varieties, which are both annuals. So I'll start them inside, plant them outside. We're getting married next year in August. So some of the things that I'm going to be growing this year are not typical things for us to grow. So it's going to be a bit of an experiment. I'm hoping that I will be able to use most of the flowers from our garden for the floral arrangements, table arrangements, that sort of thing for our wedding. I have a florist who's going to be making my bouquet and then my bridesmaid bouquets and boutonnieres. I might change that plan, but anyways, I've got her scheduled to look after that if needed, depending on my garden. But I'm hoping to do all of the other table arrangements and flowers around, arrangements around. So we'll see how that goes. So that's why I've got sweet peas. I don't normally grow them, and to be quite honest, I'm pretty sure they'll probably be pretty close to the end of their season by the time we get married, which is the beginning, well, August 13th. So we'll see how that goes. I have also saved already some jalapeno seeds from some jalapenos from our garden. This is my first year saving seeds. So normally I just buy new seeds every year. So I'm kind of excited for this. I also saved some zucchini seeds from my mother-in-law's garden. So my zucchini got hit by that frost that we got, a late frost, and it died. But her zucchini, she was smart and she knew to cover it. So she had lots of zucchini plants. So I saved quite a few seeds. So next year I hope to be overrun with zucchini because I like using zucchini. We use a lot of it. And then some of the other things, I just had like this random box. This is probably old, but these are just some yellow beans. I have seeds everywhere. So I found this one in the cupboard in my kitchen today, just before I started this video. So I should really go through all the drawers and cupboards, and I'm sure I'll find some more, but that's okay. Okay, so then I also just recently received an order from Vessie's. So I get most of my seeds, actually, I would say probably half and half between Vessie's and Johnny's. The only thing that I don't love about buying my seeds from Johnny's is they're not Canadian, so that kind of sucks. And then of course you pay like the exchange rate, so it's you pay more for those seeds. But I can get some varieties from Johnny's that I can't get from Vessie's. And then I get quite a few from like local greenhouses and garden centers. My mom actually works at Home Hardware nearby, so I get a lot of my seeds and some starts from there too. She looks after the greenhouse, so she I kind of have an in there, so I'm pretty lucky that way. But anyways, so let's get started on these. Now these Vessie's, actually none of the next ones have pictures, the correct pictures I don't think on them. Here is sunflower firecracker. So this one has like a rich mahogany petals with amber yellow tips. They have about a 4 to 5 inch diameter, and they do branch, so they're ideal for cut flowers. So hopefully next year, fingers crossed. I'm planning to do a couple successions of sunflowers for next year, just because I don't know what the growing year is going to be like. And this year, I planted 4 successions of sunflowers. My first 2 got annihilated by earwigs. Never had an earwig problem, but this year they went to town on my sunflowers. What else did they go after? My lettuce and spinach, but mostly my sunflowers. And I was so upset because like sunflowers, we love to grow sunflowers every year. We have to grow sunflowers. So yeah, I was kind of upset about that, but thank God I planted some successions and now they're just beautiful out in the garden. I'll show some pictures later on of the garden, but I have to get a better plan for next year. So lots of planning going to have to happen. The next one is another sunflower. It's a Pro Cut White Knight. Now this will be my first time growing this one. It is a single stem series, and their flowers, they're probably similar to the firecracker. They get about 5 to 6 feet tall. They're absolutely beautiful, and I'm so excited for these ones. I actually ordered some of these also from Johnny's. I don't know if they've come in yet, because I order stuff and then I remember some other things that I forgot to order and I place another order. I'm terrible for that. But yeah, I'm really excited for these ones. They're a white sunflower with a dark center. They're beautiful. They're really nice in cut flower arrangements. And then I've got 2 packages of the zinnia, the Binaries Giant. I planted, I had a huge fail this year. Actually, this has a good image on it so you can see those. This past year, I started a tray of the giant zinnias, and our wonderful cat Gus got into the back room where I have all of my seed starts in our sunroom, and he chewed off about half of the tops of them. And then shortly after that, I took them out and I planted them. I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna plant them, see what happens. I also forgot to harden them off. Oh God, I can't believe I did this. So like typically if you're not into gardening or just getting into gardening, when you start things inside, it's a good idea to harden them off. So like slowly exposing them to outside temperatures and sun. When they're inside, they don't get the UV that they would get outside. They're also not exposed to wind, like all the natural environment. So typically I would, you know, put them outside in their seed trays for the day, bring them in at night for about, I don't know, 2 weeks prior, maybe, at least a week anyways. And this year I completely forgot to do it. I was in such a rush just to get my garden in. I'm an optician for work and it's just been kind of a hectic year. So I didn't have a ton of extra time this year. So I just plunked them in the ground and I thought they were dead for about a month. I'm like, oh, this is just like taking up so much space in my garden. These are never gonna turn into anything. Anyways, yes, a couple days ago, I was out in the garden and they are blooming and they're absolutely beautiful. Their growth is a little bit stunted. They're a little bit shorter, quite a bit shorter actually than they should be. But oh my goodness, those blooms are making up for it. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to save some seed off of those because I think I've got about maybe 50. I think there's about 25 seeds between these 2 packages, so about 50, which seems like a lot, but I'm going to change how I'm planting things next year. And the zinnias, I know that you can plant closer together. So I'm going to stake them up and plant them much closer together and hopefully get one really good row of them. I don't think I'll succession plant those ones because they should be ready right in time for our wedding. And then I also ordered some Rudbeckia Goldstrum. So these are kind of right in and along the lines of the Echinacea and the Shasta Daisy. These are a perennial, I'm pretty sure. Yes, they are perennial. And they flower typically all the way from July to October. Yeah, they're a perennial. Sorry, I wasn't reading in the right spot. Golden yellow flowers, July to October. So they're a really good, long lasting cut flower, nice in borders, that sort of thing. Again, I'm not sure where I'm going to put these. I have to find a permanent spot. And my cut flower garden is evolving very quickly and I don't want to plant them somewhere that I'm going to have to transplant them, so they might stay up near the house more. Okay, so let's get into the Johnny's seeds. And I just realized, oh my gosh, I do this all the time. I have another package here of the Binaries Giant Mix zinnias. So we're gonna have lots of zinnias next year. I'm still going to try to harvest some seeds because I would like to try that. So yeah, lots of zinnias. I have never grew Status, so I'm going to try growing Status this year. So this is the Secret Pastel Blue. My mom is a florist, so I know she works in a garden center now, but previous to that, she was a florist, so she did lots of floral arrangements, bridal bouquets, everything. So she is really helping me with the wedding flower selection. So she actually suggested the Status, and I think I had it, a couple of colors of it. We'll get to it. I should have really organized these beforehand, but that's just how we roll. Okay, so the next one I have some delphinium. This one is Magic Fountains Mix, so it's a couple different colors. So I'm pretty excited about that one. And this one is a perennial. I forgot to tell you the status is just an annual, so just a cut flower you plant every year. Of course, as is the zinnia. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. So yeah, I'm excited for the delphinium. I've never grown this one either. And then aster. I ordered some Lady Coral aster again for the cut flower. This one is an annual. Takes a little bit longer for the flowers, so this one will be a little bit of a learning curve for me too. Not a ton of seeds for this one. There's supposed to be a minimum of 50 seeds in each of these, so we'll see how this one goes. And then this one I got more sunflowers. Like I said, we love sunflowers. So this is a hybrid single stem sunflower. It's a ProCut Orange F1. Sunflowers are also annuals, but very easy to collect the seeds off of, and I will do a video on that. Amaranth. I've never grown amaranth either. It is also an annual. Red spike. It is really good for floral arrangements. So we're going to try that one. And Dara. I am not good at pronouncing this, so I will just show that to you. But I'm excited about this one too. It's really good in cut flowers. You know, it kind of reminds me of dill, like the bloom structure of them, just in different colors. So that one will be really fun as well. And some Dusty Miller, also really great in cut flower arrangements, and really pretty in the garden as well. So that one will go out in the cut flower garden somewhere. I call it the cut flower garden, but really it's just one massive garden for cut flowers and vegetables. So here's some more sunflowers. This is the Sunrich Orange Summer Sunflower. Single stem, another annual. I'm excited about that one. And the Cherokee Sunset Mix Rudbeckia. So some more Rudbeckia. These ones, I believe, so these are a perennial as well. So they'll come back every year. And I believe these ones are like a burgundy color. So I'm excited about that color. Man, I'm going to botch this. But this is a Timeless Mix Ageratum. I'm not really sure what the name of it, but it is an annual for a really good cut flower. I'm excited for this one too. Just can't say it. So this is some stock. This is another one that my mom suggested, really good in cut flowers. So I've got two Cat's Lavender Blue. So you'll probably start to see a theme. We love the lavender purple colors and white. So there's gonna be lots of purples and white. And we also love sunflowers. So I gotta kind of figure out how I'm gonna put those together, because typically they don't go that well together. You don't see them together very often, but that'll be interesting. So yeah, these are annuals. So there's the Cat's Lavender Blue stock and the Cat's White stock, these are good for cut flower gardens. Pincushions. So I grew pincushions this year for the first time and loved them, so I ordered some more. This is the Pincushion Formula Mix annual. And then Cosmos. This is another one that I grew for the first time this year, and loved them. They just they came in like a butterfly mix that I had ordered just for fun from Bessie's, and I just like threw it out there, hope for the best, and they did really well. Mostly orange ones is what I got this year, which is fine. The butterflies loved it. They were always covered in pollinators. This one is the Double Click Mix, so I believe there's like pinks and whites in this one. Also an annual, really good. They're a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Delicate. So you don't see them as often in cut flowers like arrangements, just because I find they just don't keep as well. It does say here that they are excellent cut flowers. Maybe that's just my experience. We'll see how it goes. And then the last two here, so they are both Lisianthus. I have never grown Lisianthus. I've never grown a lot of these. This was my Nana's favorite plant. She loves Lisianthus. She passed away just under a year ago. So I decided that I was going to grow some for her. So we've got two different kinds, the Roseanne Black Pearl, and then the Voyage White. So they must come in like a little vial in here. I must be really little seeds. So this is going to be interesting. It is also an annual, fully double flowers with a spray type habit. Germination 10 to 15 days. Yeah. I'm excited for these. So we'll see what happens there. Okay, and I think that's all of the seeds that I have collected here right now. So I will see you out in the garden. We're gonna dig up some potatoes and see what else we can find out there. Tell you, this is my first year growing potatoes ever. And the other thing is I got these given to me from my sister-in-law. They were just extra potatoes that she had that just started growing in a burlap sack. So I thought, well, you know what, let's throw them in the ground and see what happened. And I couldn't be happier. There's so many potatoes in there. Some of the plants didn't do like so far as well. I mean, they've all done better than I thought they would, but that first one that I dug up, there wasn't as many as the next one, but we did get potato bugs, and it was late putting them in, maybe a little bit early harvesting them. It's September 26th, but I just wanted to get them out of the ground before it was freezing cold. So this is amazing. I'm so excited, and I will definitely be growing potatoes again next year. If I said tomatoes earlier, I totally meant potatoes. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. slugs too, actually, which is not such a good sign, but big one in there if I can get it. More worms. So many worms. We seem to be getting about, I would probably say, an average of, it seems like about 4 potatoes per plant. Which I'm happy with, because like I said, I wasn't planning on planting potatoes this year at all, and I don't even know what kind these are or anything. These ones are a little smaller. There's one really big one. But yeah, overall, I'm happy and we're going to have lots of potatoes to eat. Okay, well, I got so far 6 from that one plant. So there goes my theory about the average. That kind of bumped the average up, so. Well, that's not good. I broke my fork. Guess I'll have to do the rest by hand and go find a new fork somewhere. I just found the remains of one of the potatoes. It's pretty disgusting, but there's lots of growth on it, so it's kind of cool. It's very slimy. Okay guys, I went and got some shovels. Can't find my other fork, so it must be at the barn. So we've got 2 plants left, so I'll just get to it and we'll take a look at what we have left over. Oh yes, and here are my 2 helpers, Miller and Olive. You'll see a lot of them. Well, I'm pretty happy with that. It's a lot more potatoes than I started out with. Now, some of them I did nick them accidentally, so some of them we'll have to use faster than others. But I'm going to take these back to the house and lay them out on a box in the sunroom to let them dry. So we don't wash these. I'm going to try to store some of them. We'll probably use more potatoes than that in a winter, but that's a good start. So we'll just use these ones, and then as we get further into the winter I'll probably have to buy some more, but I am super happy with that. That's an amazing amount of potatoes for free. Alright guys, well that's it for our potato harvest today. Like I said, I was really happy with the outcome of that. We got a lot more potatoes than I was expecting or planning. So that's great. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I see you back for many more videos. Thank you.